Good evening and welcome to the channel. This is my car. So my car is a BMW M3 2003. This chassis code is the e46. The current mileage on the car is just over 80,000. I've had it for about 3 years now. As most of you probably know, the engine code on this car is the S54. It is a 3.2 liter inline six from the factory, making 333 base horsepower. This car with its current mods is a little bit more. I'll go over the engine modifications here real quick. Right now I am running agency power catless headers, a stock section 1 and stock section 2, along with a status group Scorza section 3 muffler and a Frank Smith remote tune. This car, I dynoed it last winter, probably about a year ago, and I will input the clip of that right now. So as you saw in the clip, the car made 320 wheel horsepower at 8,200 RPM, which I was super happy with. There was a few other e46 M3s at this dyno day, and my car actually made the most power, which was pretty cool. It was actually pretty funny. Everyone was like, "What are your mods? What tune are you running?" Da, da, da. And so definitely pretty happy. I think a lot of it does have to do with the tune I'm running. So I'll go into a little more details on the car. Right now I have the Apex Arc 8s wrapped in the Bridgestone Potenza RE71Rs. The setup right now is 18 by 9.5, ET35 in the front, along with the Bimmerworld stud conversion. And in the rear, I have 18 by 10.5, ET27. The front does have a 5mm spacer on it right now. Definitely pretty good stance. I'm also running negative 2.5 degrees camber in the front and then a -1 in the rear. I'm sure you can probably see. A pretty good fitment. I might go a little, maybe do a 10mm spacer in the front instead, but overall pretty happy with it. As far as exterior mods, the black front kidney grills, the halos, the black turn signals. We have the black side vents, the wheels, obviously, which I talked about. And like I said earlier, my car actually is a 2003, so it is the pre-facelift, but I did manage to source some OEM LED taillights, which really amp up the look of the car, I think. I still need to replace the trunk lights to kind of match the brakes. But I also have the CSL style rear diffuser, all carbon. Probably going to end up getting that painted just to make it look a little bit better. I think that's it as far as exterior. We could take a peek inside. Have a decent amount of modifications in here as well. First I have the Renown, I think it's the R130R suede with the motorsport stitching. I have the M50 shifter with the ZHP knob. I did the armrest delete. The armrest definitely kind of gets in the way of this car when shifting, and it's kind of a pain. I think it looks really clean like that. I also have the Alcantara boot for the e-brake and the shifter. I also have a NRG detachable hub for the steering wheel, which with these racing seats is handy as far as getting in and out. Speaking of the seats, just last winter did the Sparco Rev 2s, passenger and driver. I started off, I had the, I think it was the Sparco Evo 2 for the driver's seat, and it was a pretty tight fit. If this was just strictly a track car, I would probably stay with it. But since I do daily, or I don't daily, but I do drive this car just out on the road quite often, I ended up going with the Rev 2s, which is a little bit bigger. The Sparcos were mainly really tight in the shoulders. I felt like my shoulders were just like really pushed in. It definitely held me in place really good, but just a little too tight, just not very comfortable. Also, I don't know if you can kind of see that in the back. I kind of made my own custom rear seat delete panels. That's out of a little plastic sheet, and I wrapped it in black headliner material. It turned out pretty good. I might end up going with something a little more like professional looking here. But yeah, here's a little closer look at the Renown steering wheel with the Motorsport stitching. Very happy with just the whole look of this car. I got new floor mats. The old floor mats were pretty wore out, but as you can see, they get just dirty super quick. But yeah, that is kind of going to be my first video here. Just want to do a quick walk around, kind of like a mod list. Probably go a lot more into detail on certain things later, as far as performance, sound, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. It is winter time, and this is usually when this car goes into hibernation, so kind of a bad time to start a channel, you might think, but during the winter is usually when I do all my maintenance, all my modifications. I already have a couple things in here that I'm going to do videos on, but hopefully this winter I'll be able to order some more parts and get this thing ready for the next season. This car has seen track twice here at PIR. I've done a couple other high performance driving events, but this next spring, summer, I really want to get out a lot more. I mean, you can see this car, it's pretty set up for track use as far as modifications, suspension, wheels, tires, aggressive alignment, the seats. I mean, it's definitely a very track capable car and is just amazing to drive on track, or even just on some spirited drives on the back roads. It's just a blast. Just the high revving, the handling, the lightness, just the connectivity to the car, just going through the turns. It feels so just nimble and quick, and I don't know, if you've driven one, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then you definitely should. Highly recommended car. The only thing I did forget to mention, the suspension setup I have right now is the Dynon tuned Coney Yellows on the H&R Sport lowering springs. Not 100% happy with the drop. Definitely could go another inch in the rear and maybe another inch actually in the front. I didn't really notice that much of a drop, which was kind of disappointing, but you know, it performs well, and I didn't want to go with a cheap set of coilovers. I want to do this car right, and so coilovers probably will be in the future, but just not now. I would definitely like to get some more drop. So without that, I'll probably end this little intro video here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe, like, comment, whatever. Let me know what you think of the car. Give me some ideas for some winter modifications. I definitely already have quite a few in mind. It just depends on what my budget is gonna allow. So, all right, well, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.